Welcome back to the news at 10. In what looks like a swift response to a media report, the Federal Ministry of Works is already fixing the collapsed portion of Biase Calabar Federal Highway in Cross River State. Channels Television has been monitoring the poor state of the road before it finally caved in on Monday afternoon. Contractors have now created alternative routes for commuters who are already complaining about the difficulty they face connecting the northern part of the state.
The precarious state of the Calabae-Biase highway at Iwuru, when Channels Television first broke the story on Sunday with a warning that it's about to collapse. Less than 48 hours later, the last strip standing finally caves in, the inevitable result of ignoring the very obvious handwriting on the wall. The latest heavy downpour has delivered the death stroke.
FEMA has been coming. They will come, they snap and go. Other companies have been coming, they only snap and go since then. So we've not heard anything. So I'm the one now directing our tanker and some vehicle and children going to school.
As a very temporary solution, the road has to undergo a crude form of expansion. The contractors create a diversion by clearing the bushes by the roadside to provide an alternative route. Apparently, the federal government has ordered that repair works should commence on the road.
We got here with the vehicle. The driver wanted to be stubborn to continue movement, but they had to stop it because if it had gone again, we have collapsed with the passengers in the vehicle. So I wish that the government should take note. This road, our roads are so bad and so rough.
It's just natural that the culvert has served its service life, so it collapses. So that's why we came here to create a diversion so that people can be using that diversion while we replace this culvert and fix everything back.
The contractor handling the project offers assurances that the road will be up and running in the shortest possible time.
After the diversion, we now do the culvert halfway, then backfill, return the traffic this way, and then complete the other side.
All this would not have been necessary if the problem had been effectively dealt with at its earliest stages. The major lesson here is that the authorities do not have to wait until infrastructure gets completely damaged before rushing in to carry out repairs.
22 brand new cars. That's the number Shoprite is giving out on its 12th anniversary of operations here in Nigeria. The prizes are being given after a 2-month-long promo which started in August. Shoprite is one of the leading retail outlets that boasts of its low prices.
Here in Ikeja Shoprite Mega Mall, this is the box the filled-in vouchers were dropped in after purchase of any of 11 selected brands in the shop. It's been sealed since October the 8th. The seal of the container is broken in the presence of officials from the National Lottery Regulatory Commission and its contents emptied into the mixer. Hundreds of tickets. Every errant piece is salvaged. Each a potential winner of the Hyundai Grand Accent. Someone from the crowd of shoppers is chosen at random to roll the drum and mix up its contents. Then pick just one out.
And the winner is Onoshime
A call is put through to the lucky winner, who walks in some time later to claim his car.
I'm so happy, more than 100%. I'm so grateful. I thank God for making me. I'm the lucky guy for winning the car.
We Shoprite as a whole, we tend to celebrate our customers, our loyal customers, by giving them back what they deserve.
that's all about the promo and also our anniversary that was upcoming. So it was a kind of a combination for our customers.
Shoprite is giving out 21 other cars, one at each outlet nationwide, in the space of 2 weeks.
Now, one of the leading players in Nigeria's automobile sector, Coscharis Motors, has launched its first assembly plant in Nigeria. According to the President and Chief Executive Officer of Coscharis International, Dr. Cosmos Maduka, the building structure of the assembly plant costs $150 million. That's $15 million. Dr. Maduka is also urging the federal government to strengthen its automobile policy on local content.
Undaunted by the fluctuations in the foreign exchange and dwindling purchasing capacity in the country, Coscharis Motors, distributors of Ford, is launching its first assembly plant in Nigeria. This initiative, announced in November 2015, now becomes a dream come true. In line with the federal government's policy of boosting local capacity in the automobile sector, the management of Coscharis plans to maximize the market potential of 180 million people by giving future generations a head start in the area of transportation.
Indeed, history is being made today. This milestone makes another first in the evolution of our company towards remaining timeless in its relevance. The National Automotive Industry Development Plan aims, among other objectives, to discourage importation of completely built vehicles.
Seeing is believing, and this facility tour at Ford assembly plant is an eloquent testimony.
It's because of the discussion we're having with Ford over the years that, look, having been a dealer representing Ford, we need to manufacture Ford and assemble Ford in Nigeria. It's not initially comfortable, but as we continue to engage, Ford sees Nigeria as a major market, a market of 180 million people. And I think the mission of Ford is really to have a lot of Ford variants manufactured in Nigeria.
Currently, Coscharis assembly plant is rolling out 600 Ranger units with daily production capacity for 60 units on a single shift. Coscharis Motors promises to continue to deliver excellent quality vehicles for Nigerian customers.
For the rest of the business news, here's Melinda Akinlami.
You first. First Bank.
Many thanks, Ijoma. Welcome to Business News. Nigeria's headline inflation rate continues its downward trend to 15.9% in September from 16.01% in August. This is the 8th consecutive loss in inflation since January. Data from the National Bureau of Statistics released today showed food inflation rose to 20.32% from 20.25% in August. This was driven by the rise in bread, cereal, meat, vegetable and other food items. Core inflation increased at a slower pace in September, rising by 12.1% against 12.3% in August. The House of Representatives has received the 2018-2020 Medium-Term Expenditure Framework and Fiscal Strategy paper sent by President Muhammadu Buhari. In a letter read by the Speaker, Honorable Yakubu Dogara, the President explains that the documents were prepared against the backdrop of the global economic uncertainty. The documents have been referred to a joint committee to be led by the Appropriation Committee for consideration.
Pursuant to provisions of the Fiscal Responsibility Act 2007, the preparation towards the submission of 2018 budget to the National Assembly is progressing well. MTEF and FSP were prepared against the backdrop of a generally adverse global economic uncertainty, as well as physical challenges and recovery in the domestic economy, to ensure that planned spending is set at prudent and sustainable levels and is consistent with government's overall developmental objectives and inclusive growth. I hereby forward the 2018-2020 MTEF and FSP to the House of Representatives and trust that it will be kindly considered and approved expeditiously in order to bring the 2018 Federal Government of Nigerian budget preparation process to a timely closure.
Speaker of the House of Representatives, Honorable Yakubu Dogara. The return of Nigerian banks to the international bond market is small but a positive step, and that's according to Fitch. But the ratings agency hints that the impact will be modest as the new bond issuances are small relative to the total term of foreign currency lending. Leading banks, Zenith, UBA and Access, with deposit money market shares near or above 10%, have issued medium-term Eurobonds since the fourth quarter of 2016, while Fidelity Bank, a smaller bank with a 5% deposit share, issued $400 million this week. Renewed interest from international investors seeking yield has enabled several banks to issue Eurobonds since last year for the first time in 2014. Nigeria's stock market shed 81 basis points at the close of Tuesday's trading session as profit-taking hits 5 major sectors of the market. Chibeze tells us more.
Hello and welcome to the Stock Market Report. Investors at the equities market chose to slow down today and take some profits. That profit taken on the highly capitalized stocks like Dangote Cement, Nestle and Nigerian breweries pushed the index down by 0.81%, and all the sectors ended in the red. 21 gainers versus 21 losers were recorded. Top on the gainers list in terms of price movement is international breweries, up 5.7%. On the flip side, we have Red Star Express. In all, investors put in about 5 billion naira to purchase over 211 million shares in 3,890 deals. Despite today's losses, analysts believe the market remains fundamentally strong amid broadly bullish outlook for the economy and third quarter corporate earnings. And that was the Stock Market Report. I'm Chimeze Obi Iwago.
It's a negative close for African and European markets today as investors monitored the latest political development in the Eurozone and the cabinet reshuffle in South Africa. Let's take a look at those numbers. That's Business News. I'm Melinda Akinlami. It's back to you, Joma.
You first. First Bank.
Thanks a lot, Melinda. The Minister of State for the Environment, Mr. Ibrahim Jibril, believes careful planning and concerted efforts by Governor Ibikunle Amosun's team have positioned Ogun State as the industrial capital of Nigeria. The minister was speaking while on a visit to the governor in Abeokuta, the state capital, on the sidelines of the ongoing forum of the National Council on the Environment. Governor Amosun also spoke about his administration's readiness to adhere to global best practices in waste management and environment protection.
Ogun State, from all that we have seen in the past and recently, Ogun can be said to be the industrial hub of this country. It did not happen by accident. It came about through careful planning and concerted effort to push this agenda of development in this state. And we are seeing the fruits very early.
Indeed, we have a lot of things we are doing in the area of environment, forest deforestation. We are doing something in Awuru. With all of these industries springing up every day within the corridors of Ogun State, we should be proactive, we should be ready, we should align with what best practice in the area of how do we manage all of those waste. Even sorting, a lot of things. You know, it will do a lot of things for us. It will create employment for our youth, not even our youth, everybody. They will find something doing, they will generate income, and above all, the hazard of it will be removed.
Still ahead on the news at 10, former EPL champions Leicester City sack manager Craig Shakespeare after 4 months in permanent role at the club. That's on sports. Please stay with us.